protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath. Kale, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Customer, I don't know who to say.
Malaria been actually on my man still.
One of them give us.
Give us a solid.
Yeah, sorry. What rest of us give us here and don't come down.
What's over that song? But for me to give us the and some down.
Give us a bad miss.
If I try the and some down.
Customer. Give us a tonto now.
Onuya kayo oba wa fa furo nom de o ma no banu fo nom akwada wa ni mfie dumie no ono nso nom
Bet Blast Boom exclusively on Betway. Win up to 300% more when you play Fly X with Win Boost from Betway. Betway, get way more.
Are you looking to own a prime piece of litigation-free land where you can put up your dream family home or your ideal getaway retreat within a luxurious estate? Then look no further. Welcome to Rehoboth Hills, where your dream of hassle-free land ownership comes to life. Acquire land devoid of multiple purchases, litigation, and land guard issues in a safe and secure gated community while enjoying the fabulous night view of Accra from the serene Ebri Mountains. Rehoboth Hills offers spacious plots that provide you with the ideal setting for your dream home and a valuable, safe investment for your future. The lands are located in the prime area of Ayarifa within our residential development Rehoboth Hills, overlooking the city of Accra and the Ebri Mountains. Our prices are very affordable and designed to fit your budget. We offer flexible payment terms, ensuring that you can invest in a valuable asset for the future. Contact us on 0244 764 499 or 0204 950 810 or visit our website at www.rehobothpropertiesgh.com. Rehoboth Properties, quality housing for all.
Here is to the friends who took the chance with no regrets. Investors no more hating fortune. To the health workers who diagnosed Black's every move, and then to the hard guy who couldn't hold his emotions, to the passionate fan who couldn't contain his joy, to the seamstress who turned her hard-earned stitches into a bundle of joy. And now, here is to you. Your next big win is right here. From 1st July 2024, dial *712# Equaswato tickets as a group individual to win in the community draw or the grand draw on the 30th of November 2024. Unlock your luck with *712#.
Created by the NLA on the Caritas platform, not for persons below 18 years. TNCs apply.
Alrighty, welcome back to the program, and I want to put you in just a few seconds of suspension, or just want to suspend you a bit because I have a surprise for you this morning. Maybe history will be made depending on how the angle at which you're looking at it from. So before I give you the surprise, let me just remind you that Kel 360 toothpaste is available on the market, and it says that if you're desperate of getting toothpaste that will take care of the whole family, Kel 360 toothpaste is available. It's approved by the Food and Drugs Authority. Provides your family with an all-round dental protection throughout the day and with freshness. The Kel 360 toothpaste is good for children, it's good for kids, and it's good for adults as well. And so let your family be proud and step out constantly by using Kel 360 toothpaste. It brightens your teeth, prevents cavity, and with a cool mint, it gives you fresh breath throughout the day, and it protects the gum from decaying. And also for consistency, use quality Kel 360 toothpaste. It's a product from Samara Company Limited, producers of Sasso, and available in all supermarkets across the nation. Contact them on 024-686-4798. Kel 360 toothpaste says happy smile. And also always reminding you about the lift and elevators that is on the market. It says if you want to enjoy the labor of your hands, and your mansions are available for you to use them effectively by employing the services of the lift and elevators. They are on the market. They come with the portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators, and they will install in your home for you at your request. It's simple and self-supported elevator for both homes and offices, and guess what? It also can lift your goods as well. So wheelchairs can be fit in, and they come in 3 custom-made modules. It's affordable and can be installed within 3 days as well. Contact them. They are at Sakumono Lift and Elevators 0200-535-515, or email them on at elevators or elevatorsgh@gmail.com. elevatorsgh@gmail.com for your consultations and best solutions, of course, in vertical movements. Okay, so my guests are with me already in the studio, and there's a big surprise for you as I sit here as the host of this program, or sitting in for Dr. Randy Abbey. I don't know if my next task will be sitting on the other side as a guest. So the big surprise for you this morning is I would say a lady I took over from, yes, because after her as a lady or as a woman, I'm the next lady. Yeah. You know, I feel proud, right? True. Let me brag small. So Shamima Muslim is our wonderful guest this morning, and she is a former host of this program, actually. Yeah, and also an outgoing convener of the Alliance for Women in Media Africa, okay? And then also has joined the NDC Communications team. So let's break it now that you are now, officially a guest on Good Morning Ghana. Shamima, we're glad to have you.
How beautiful it is. How beautiful, how poetic it is, actually, if you ask me that. In fact, Annie, my last day on set, I will remember clearly, was a Friday before the December 2012 elections. And I fell ill after that program, I fell ill with my first pregnancy. Oh. So that's how come I never came back on air, because it would take 4 months for me to get onto my feet. Again. Yes. And when I did, I preferred radio instead of television. So I never came back on TV since then. So, I mean, driving back here and, reminiscing on all of those times and how far we have come as individuals with evolving choices, as must be the case. I always tell young people that in your lifetime, your choices will evolve over a period per your own personal growth, per your own experiences, per your own mistakes and your own aspirations. And we must embrace that evolution into the spaces that, it drives us. So I am very proud of what I've done and I've achieved whilst I was on air here at Metro Television and at City FM. In fact, the bulk of my period was when the NDC was in power. NDC came in power after the 2008 elections. And I started media again after Radio Universe in 2008. So where strict accountability is concerned, I ensured that I put the NDC, and it's just amazing. I can just remember vividly a program I had with Fifi Kwete and Kweku Kwating, right? In the old studios of, about the economy.
My first time hosting Good Morning Ghana, I was Fifi Kwete. And what's his name? The son of the former Speaker of Parliament, Okwe Jr., Michael Okwe Jr. Yes, they were my first guests on the platform.
It's so surreal that we're still talking about those same things. Yeah. The same things that were discussed the critical points of departure for the NPP at the time. The economy, the indicators, the interest rates, the debt exchange, domestic borrowing, international borrowing. It's just surreal that we're still there. But if you grant me a few minutes just to introduce myself properly and to make a statement regarding why people are seeing me here today and have seen my activities over the past couple of weeks, really. So, by name of introduction, as you know, my name is Shamima Muslim, viewers, my dear friends. I have traversed a very checkered history from media and Radio Universe, and I went into development work, working as a parliamentary advocacy officer, then with the Legal Resources Center for a couple of years until 2008, when my first love in media brought me back to the media, City FM, and then later on Metro Television. And when I moved away finally from the media, from mainstream media, that must have been in 2015, I went and grew my young family of 4 children. So very proud of that. Yes, I have 4. I have 2 boys, 2 girls. My firstborn turned 11 last Friday. I'm very proud of myself, and I'm very honored and grateful to God Almighty for the favors He has done me. So I took almost a decade off to do the needful and grow my young family. In that space of time, I was not inactive. I've always been active. Activism found me when I was 19 years old, when I walked myself to Radio Universe to ask to volunteer. That is the beginning of activism for me. So I do know how to stand up for myself. I have observed in the past couple of weeks.
I find myself in walking your path a lot, because when I first walked into a TV station, I walked myself.
Yes.
I want to work with you.
19-year-old.
TV, yes.
Amazing, amazing story. We'll tell those stories later. But just so for those who are just arriving onto the scene, who do not know the trajectory of our public service and our life, to know that we don't come into this decision today lightly or easily. It has been shaped and informed by very direct, interface with the issues for as long a time as I can remember. From my student politics days, I was the local news president in Legon, and right from there, many of my colleagues thought I would have done mainstream, politics, but I held on for as long as I could until I was ready. So do not let people railroad you into where were you yesterday. You were where you were yesterday. What you are today and where you are today is what matters. So at any point in time when you're ready to take any step in any aspect of your life, be it in public life, be it in CSO life, which I have also done. So activism has always been part of me. So I come into this new position very well aware of what the failings of our democracy is, very well aware of what the weaknesses of our political parties is, very well aware of the various marginalized voices and issues that require amplification, and very well aware of the talkings within the women's movement of Ghana, within the CSO movement regarding issues of the elderly, regarding issues of the socially disadvantaged, and the fact that those spaces require these voices. And there's a new generation of activists who are taking decisions to transition from mere CSO activism into where the decisions are made. Because we can't continue to say people should change politics when people who really understand these issues keep away from politics.
And you sit on the fence and watch. Shamima.
So
it's so good.
That is why you're seeing me today, and I'm very glad to be here today.
It's so good to have you. We just hope you don't give up. It's a difficult, a daunting task.
It is, isn't it?
I am hoping
for women especially.
Indeed.
And let me say hello to my sister. I've been watching her from afar. As a sister from the north, I guess we are very few in the system, aren't we?
Yeah.
So we must work together to
watch her
that we represent our communities in whatever party platforms that we choose.
Right. So our sister, as she's talking about, is Tabitha Ayila, and she is a member of the NPP communications team as well. And she's also joined us in the studio. So glad to have you. That was a long introduction.
Sorry.
From Shamima, because
I needed to get that one out of the way.
Definitely, the history that she's actually bringing on this platform is very interesting to have her as well. So Tabitha, you're welcome as well. And I hope everything is okay with you.
Yeah, it's fine.
How was the weekend? How was the Matthew Boko Pempe weekend?
It's been fun. Yeah, we are happy. The grassroots, the response is massive. And on the 9th rather, that will be tomorrow. We'll be outdooring him. We're going to Ashanti region to do that. So we are happy. A lot of people are preparing to go to Kumasi for the outdooring.
There was a headline that says you're busing people to Kumasi. I'm trying to get that headline.
Yeah, they can. If people go and somebody is benevolent enough to pick them up to the place, why not? It's cool. It's about numbers. Party is about numbers, and the more numbers you have, the more stake you have, and so there's really nothing wrong with that.
With the busing.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. But unless, of course, you don't know how political parties operate. But most political parties, that's what they do. They bus people to events. Individuals can voluntarily pick them. And so there's really nothing wrong with that.
Is it individuals that are doing it, or is the party that's organizing that?
I can't tell. You just told me that you saw a news item, so I can't speak to it. But the little knowledge I have concerning busing of people is that individuals can do. It's not all the time that party can fund some activities.
Anyway, so I'll actually start with you, since you've already started talking about NAPO. So let me start with you. The choice of NAPO, what it adds. Shami, I'm going to come to you with our program that we were with the former president yesterday, right? But let's start with NAPO and the choice, Tabitha. So, I mean, I'm sure you've listened in to a lot of the criticisms, the applause, the uproar, the maybe persons that are disgruntled about it, those who are also happy about it and all that. Maybe you can give us from your perspective how it really adds to the ticket of Baumia.
Okay, thank you so much, Annie. And let me say a welcome to my sister. In fact, I'm Goronga. That is to say, people call us Frafres, but we are Gorehe. And we normally pick a joke with the people.
What is that? Is it a tribe?
Yeah, it's a tribe. And we normally pick a joke.
That's what we term Frafra.
Yes, a lot of people call us Frafres, but we are Gorehe. Yeah, we speak Grone, but we are called Gorehe. And so we normally have this joke that we share with the people from Upper West, especially those we call the Bazoo. So if we go back home, I call her my slave. And so I want to use this opportunity
it's the other way around. Don't mind They'll be eating dog heads. Me, I don't eat dog heads.
You know, it's interesting that when you go to Upper West, yes, those who are Muslims say they are not. They don't eat bazu,
no,
but
we don't eat bazu.
Culturally, that's their delicacy. Yes, it's fine.
Did you hear the story of how dogs in Volga became extinct? Because they wouldn't leave the dogs.
You know,
alone.
if we are going to start this, we will not stop today. So, yes. And another thing is that as women in politics, I have been in the space for quite some time now, and so I understand the ups and downs that is in this. I don't know whether to call it a trade or a calling, but whatever it is, I pray that she's able to navigate, because she has been able to navigate a lot of things. Listening to her, She postulated how she went through a whole lot of struggles. It's normal. Everybody goes through struggles. But then there was one thing she did that didn't sit right with me, which was she took a swipe at us on her Facebook wall, lumping all females in the NPP, and I think that was not right, you know. Women need to work together, as you indicated. And so when we start doing some of these things, it doesn't really benefit us. We should be seen to be fighting for each other or one another, but not rather trying to segregate ourselves and try to make a joke out of whatever we are doing. It's not fair. Another thing is that, anyway, she's welcome. Napo, he's affectionately called Napo, and we all love him. I, as an individual, I've never really had any personal relationship with him. I've never met him in person. But from what I have gathered, and from people that have worked closely with him, they tell you a lot about him, and then you wonder, is this the man people are tagging him with the word arrogant? You know, there's a saying in the Bible that who will the child ask for a bread and he will give the child a stone, or ask for an egg and will be given. But you see, Napo is a different kind of leader. He is one that pays attention to the progress of his those that are behind him or those that he is supporting. One thing people don't know is that in politics, the godfather factor plays a big role in politics. I don't think Madam Shamima had this opportunity because she has all these qualities. There's definitely somebody who is pushing. And so Napo is one big push in our political space. He has a lot of influence. Napo has been a parliamentarian for over 16 good years. He has served in critical areas in this administration. You talk about educational sector, where bold decisions were taken. He is one of the people who has given our party a message, because he has been able to get results. And that is what every leader does, or is expected to do. You should be able to give results. You should be able to work with whatever you are given. You understand? It doesn't really matter what you are given. The most important thing is that at the end of the day, whether scarce or limited resources, you are able to generate results for it. And Napo has proven himself to be one that is has that what they call it, trademark. So you look at Napo as an MP. You look at Napo, who also worked closely with our vice president. I remember when they went to court. I think, which year was that? 2013. When MPP contested the results. Napo played a critical role and worked very closely with our vice president. And I know a lot of people may not know this, but he was our electoral director or coordinator for the elections that happened in 2012. And so we all know what happened during the, they call it you and I were not there season. He played a critical role. He made sure that he was able to collate results and bring whatever findings that the vice president, as at that time, needed. And so this is not the first time they'll be working closely. They've worked together before, and they will continue to work together. Whenever he's going to brief the president about happenings in his ministry, the vice president is always there. So they've actually had that kind of relationship, working relationship, for a very long time. Yeah. I always say you don't need to get along with somebody to work with the person. And this is true. You don't necessarily need to be friends with somebody before you can carry out a job together. And if people probably were hatching the idea that Napo and our vice president that don't have that kind of relationship, probably they have to drop that idea, because they have an excellent working relationship. Now you look at some of the achievements that he brought in his ministry as an educational minister, and you realize that he has done so much. When people couldn't provide chalks, he was able to provide not only white marker boards, but also what they call it, markers for teaching students. He made sure that every student or students that were interested to go to school.
And the church situation is not just a political gimmick.
It's not a political gimmick. There is a video to that where the former vice president, may God continue to rest his soul, Emisa Atta's wife, was confronted with the fact that they didn't have chalks for some time, and so teaching had become very difficult. And she told them that, you understand. So it's not a political gimmick. This is a fact.
I just think that people
this is a fact.
Took her out of context.
No, people didn't take her out of context. The people did not take her out of context. She was straight and very emphatic about her answer to them. That I'm not the one saying it. And another thing, you look at the facilities at the educational sector and you realize that when government started implementing free senior high school, which I don't know how they came saying that they implemented free senior high school, and when we queried them, they said they started the they call it what progressively free, which is there are videos and other this thing too, that the fact that they didn't do it, they didn't start free senior high school. It's just like the situation where when you start something, a lot of people, normally when they don't believe in you, nobody actually applauds you. But then when they start seeing results, that's when you see people coming up and cheering you on. And I think that is exactly what the NDC did. After we successfully implemented free senior high school, they decided to come back again and tell Ghanaians that we started free senior high school, which we all know is a big lie. And apart from that, you look at the time he was the Minister for Education, he ensured that teachers' allowances were paid. He ensured that most of the teachers that went through the colleges of education, they moved them, okay, from diploma, or is it the set A that they were doing, and tried to make it more of a tertiary institution, and restored what do you call it, book and paper allowance to what do you call it,
book and
research allowance, sorry, to what do you call them, the lecturers at that those institutions. So if you look at NAPO's stellar performance, nothing can compare. And if you bring the NDC's what do you call it, education minister, who is now their running mate, you can tell that you are trying to weigh a paper and a whole book that has been bound. And this, no, nobody can compare. And so to have a strong character, one that is results oriented, paired with the transformational leader, the 21st century leader, the leader that has made it possible for Ghanaians to have drone services, the leader that has made it possible for Ghanaians to access services 24 hours just by holding their phones, we can tell you that we have a superb team, we have a perfect pair, we have the leader that can transform Ghana into the Ghana that we all want to see. I know that there are more plans in store to have our teachers. I will pause on this one because I've realized that the NDCs, some way, somehow, they are trying to steal some of our policies, so I will just keep this to myself. But you see, Ghanaians should be looking out for a pair that is coming to work and to give them results. That one I can vouch, and that one you can vouch, because they have both shown working. We are not looking for a leader that will come and look Ghanaians dead in the eyes and tell them that I am not a magician. We are not going to give them a pair that will look at Ghanaians in their eyes and tell them that I have seen more strikes in my 2 years than any other president. And so nothing actually makes me perturbed or gets me a bit scared. If it is the votes that you will not give me, I don't care. You know, to have a leader speak carelessly like this, no. Our pair is coming to deliver. And I want to use this opportunity to assure Ghanaians that they should never miss this golden opportunity of having...
Is it careless to speak in a way where you call the bluff of voters?
Pardon?
Is it careless to speak in calling the bluff of voters as a politician?
Is it careless? Yes. You know, politicians are not perfect. Politicians are not perfect. And at times, what they call expediency plays a fact, this thing in politics. That is why mostly it's good to script your speech as a politician. But at times you may just be caught unawares and you may say things. But you see, our campaign has always been about issues. But unfortunately, the other side will always try to chip in some unnecessary excesses that shouldn't even come to play when we are discussing issues. But of course, I have seen on social media handles where the NDC has come out to say some things about our leaders. And I'm just trying to use this opportunity to let people, to remind people that no, when you are looking for a leader, look for a leader that is ready to work for you. A servant leader. Let's put that at the back of our minds. Not a leader that will come and tell you that in the midst of your crisis, when you vote for me and I become president, give me some time to go on a honeymoon. No, these two people are not ready for honeymoon. They are energetic, they are full of energy, they are ready to work, they have ideas.
Okay.
Yes, and so we have a perfect team.
I just wanted to put
should be perfect, should be confident in this pair.
So I just wanted to put you to some strict proof. So there is Modern Ghana publication, 6th March 2014. Mahama's free SHS good news for Ghanaians, Nanado. The 2012 presidential candidate of the New Patriotic Party, Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, president's decision to implement free SHS education in 2015 is good news for Ghanaians as should be welcomed and should be welcomed by all. In an interview with Accra-based on Man FM, Nanado said if the president and his National Democratic Congress NDC now considers free SHS education policy as possible, then it is good for Ghanaians. If you check City FM, March 6, 2014, the same, Mahama's free SHS good news for Ghanaians, Nanado. City FM also captured the same story and headline, says that the 2012 presidential candidate of the New Patriotic Party says the president's decision to implement free senior high school education in 2015 is good news for Ghanaians. So it's not something that in the first place they even kicked against.
No, they kicked against it. It's like a lot of people, sorry, let me borrow the words of, let me just bring, Mahama said something. That is why he keeps doing some of these things. He said Ghanaians have short memory, okay? He said it. I'm not the one saying Ghanaians, he said it to Ghanaians that they have short memory. And he said this because he knows that after some time when he comes back with this gimmick, a lot of people, people will not buy it because we'll be there to set the record straight. Mahama and Nanado Dankwa Akufo-Addo, who started talking about free senior high school, when Ghanaians started buying the idea that free senior high school is possible, you know, Nana didn't start talking about free senior high school.
What did
today.
The Constitution say?
After some time, yes, the Constitution may say that do this, do that, but it now depends, or the difference is who will implement, who is man enough to take a bold stand and implement. That is why I'm telling you that when you come to the history of Ghana, and you look at policies that have been implemented, it is the NPP that has that track record of implementing policies successfully. This one was just an afterthought when he realized that a lot of Ghanaians were now buying into Nanado's vision, because Nanado from day one has been consistent and very deliberate about implementing free senior high school when he becomes president. And so when they realized that a lot of people were buying this idea, that was when he jumped onto it. But then I have receipts here where students were paying, even day students, because he said he wanted to absorb the day students first before he goes to boarding school. But then we didn't do that. We just started the thing on full force. So I have here, I will show you, Accra High School, a student's admission list and how much he was supposed to pay. Everything, the signature of the school, everything is here. If you want, you can have a look. And so it's one thing to say that I will do this, and it is another thing doing it, okay? And the evidence is there to show that students were still paying school fees up until now, what they call it, Nanado Dankwa
So this is first-time fees for SHS 1 2016-2017 academic year.
Yes.
So we have a total
go to the archives and find out.
Total of 482, right?
Yes.
482 Ghana cedis. That's the fees they were paying.
For a term.
For a term. Do you know how much parents are spending on cost of education today with their children who are enjoying some free education?
You know, please, let me finish this. You are rushing.
I'm not rushing. You have given me the
because
document,
I'm going somewhere. I showed you something because I want to speak to it.
Yeah, and I'm asking you a follow-up question on that.
Okay, fine. Your follow-up, I may not be able to tackle it now. Let me finish with this. Now, you realize that this is just for a term, 482 Ghana cedis. Let's bring it today. If students were to be made to pay school fees, how much do you think they would have been paying with current rates?
In addition to the
now
current
do the calculation.
Yes.
Now do the calculation. You have always been saying do the maths, but do the calculation and you realize that a parent wouldn't need less than 3,000 Ghana cedis just to see the student off to school, and that money is going to be money that will be paid to government's chests. Apart from the preparation that you do for your child, that is to say, buying panties, shoes, handbags, or whatever they may need, garishito, oil, whatever that you buy for them. So you see, government is absorbing all these expenses that parents would have been paying. Now students go to school and they are given textbooks, 4 core subjects, 4 elective subject books. You can go to the schools, send your cameras to the schools and find out. Now we have, 710 institutions that have free Wi-Fi. Colleges of education.
Are you sure of what you're saying?
They have Wi-Fi.
Okay.
Some may not have, but some have. I remember at Zamsi Secondary Senior High School, they had free Wi-Fi for teachers. They had free Wi-Fi. Zamsi Senior High School, which is
where is it?
It's in Upper East Region.
Zamsi.
Zamse. It's a Greeny word meaning learn.
Okay.
Yes, they have free Wi-Fi. I can speak to that because I know what I'm talking about.
Upper East, right?
Yes. So if you have a different school, I may not know, but for that school, they had free Wi-Fi. The universities, they gave them free Wi-Fi. Colleges of education, they gave them free Wi-Fi. This is a government that cares about the people. This is a government that came and said, teachers, I will add you an allowance of 100 Ghana cedis as a professional allowance, because now teachers hold what we call the licensure, what do you call it? They write exam, and so they become professionals. And they give them allowances. This government didn't withhold salaries of teachers when COVID came. Okay, they paid teachers their full salaries. But we had a government that supervised 3 years of teachers that taught without them being paid. Then finally, when they started to pay, they instituted the 3 months pay policy. So it doesn't matter the number of years you have served. And so teachers were bitter. And you don't compare this kind of governance with the governance that the MPP has given to the people of Ghana.
Led by Matthew Opoku Prempeh.
Led by Matthew Opoku Prempeh. And if you look at the labor front, when he was the minister, everything was okay.
Everything was okay?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, let me go to Shamima.
Thank you. So once again, good morning, viewers. Thank you for your time. I was blaming the Shaitan regime. May Allah untie the knot from our tongues, that they may understand our speech. I'm just listening to my sister, speak very glowingly about the man Napo, and yet we know that a running mate has no power, has no influence, cannot do much. He's a mere mate and not in the driver's seat. So my sister is listing a lot of things about Napo, and the gospel according to Dr. Mahmoud Baumia is that as a mate, your powers are limited. So that's just by the way. But just to address quickly the opening remarks of my my dear sister Tabitha regarding the post I made on Facebook. And to be fair, and because you raised it, I think it's fair that our viewers would hear what it is exactly that I posted after the announcement was made. I think that there's one line in Rudyard Kipling's poem, that if you can keep your head when all else are losing theirs and blaming it on you, you'll be a man or woman. So I think right now the NPP, they are losing their heads. They are confused. They are confounded with the nature of the problem they have shepherded over. That is why we are where we are today. We did a campaign, and you know it, we've been doing a campaign consistently. One of the major messages that, to come back, the NPP communicators need to be addressing members of their own parties, because a lot of these issues are raised by members of their own parties first. So deal first with the, yes, I'll come to that and give you specific names. We are all in this Ghana. But we were running a campaign the whole of last year, advocating for increasing the numbers of women in politics. It's been a campaign that the Network of Women's Rights, the Women's Manifesto Movement, Abantu for Development, FIDA Ghana. You read statements from FIDA Ghana right here on this program, calling on political parties to consider naming women as running mates. You read that, yeah. I read that, everybody read that. The other issue that brought about this degeneration was also the results of the parliamentary primaries for both the NDC and the New Patriotic Party. We have 40 women in parliament now. A lot of incumbent women in the MPP, ministers, deputy ministers, lost their seats. They are not coming back to parliament. The numbers we have tabulated who are going into the contest, who will not all be winning, are very abysmal. So we are making, we take a step forward and then we retrogress as a result of the continuous non-commitment of the leaders of our political parties to issues of women. That is a fact. It is not contested. It's not a subjective analysis. What is a fact also is the fact that come 2025 in the Parliament of Ghana, it will be a miracle if we get 40 women in Parliament, less than 14%. The International Parliamentary Union has said that within the next decade, any country who is unable to reach the minimum 30% women in their national assemblies will be reduced to observer status. These are growing issues of concern for every woman and every government that is really serious. So it is not the women of Ghana that are clamoring for attention. The women of Ghana who have over the years worked to sustain these same political parties, who are members, active members of these political parties, breaking their backs for these political parties, they deserve respect. Now, if you look at our country, what is the next major glass ceiling for the women of Ghana? We've had Speaker of Parliament, we've had Attorney General, we've had Chief of Staff. The next biggest glass ceiling in this country is the office of Vice President, and inshallah, the office of Presidency. 67 years on, to expect that our country, which is inclusive, which has majority of its population being women, to expect that this country should elevate and amplify women, competent women, distinguished women into that powerful position, which is an appointive position. We in advocacy always say that there are two ways to bridge the gap, especially in politics. It's either more women are contesting for positions and winning, that's one of the surest way to bridge the gap, or women under affirmative action are receiving appointments. Now, in the position of running mate, it is both an appointive position, but it can only come to effect through an election. So if JM chooses, John Mahama chooses Professor Nana Jane as running mate, that is the good first step. It can only come to effect through the votes of the people. And we are hoping that come December 7, the votes of the people will count. And collectively, that pair will see to the breaking of the glass ceiling. So in the light of the anglings from members of the New Patriotic Party, the women, you saw them, you read them. Natoshi was one of the names that came up. Eslo Wusu was one of the names that came up. The Chief of Staff, Frema Opare, is one of the names that strongly came up. as serious contenders. The New Patriotic Party communicators on social media under my page have conceded that there were consultations around these names that came up. So it is not a non-recognition of the value or competence of the woman. It is merely a matter of commitment to the issue of women. So when the announcement came, I posted on my page that I am empathizing with the hard-working women of the New Patriotic Party. I would have made this same statement. We called on them, FIDA, Netrites, Alma, we called on them. I sat on air even before I put my head into the fray, demanding and asking and making a case for John Mahama to retain Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman. I would have made this same statement because we are friends. We hear their concerns. There are videos now circulating about the Honorable Eslo Wusu also bemoaning how sometimes members of their own party belittle the contributions of women. Tabitha, this is a fight we must all fight. Whether you're NDC, whether you're NPP, whatever the actions of those two parties are, there's not been equity in terms of gender. There is a lot of room for improvement for women to elevate into different important positions. It does not take a president like President Nana Akufo-Addo to go to Canada at a Women's Deliver Conference and go and tell the whole world that your women haven't shown enough dynamism. That is unjust.
Yes,
that is
unfair. Coming to that yes, is that comment he made at the conference, is it factual or not?
Is it what?
Factual or not?
Is it factual that women, it is error. It is erroneous to create the impression that the women of Ghana are not showing dynamism in respect of wanting to be in politics, putting themselves up for positions. They are doing that. They are not winning. They don't have resources. When they go to raise resources, men want to sleep with them, to give them money. These are lived experiences of women who have navigated this very acidic terrain, which we all agree. So it would take commitment of leaders to see that irrespective, when we proposed a couple of years back, the political parties should reduce filing fees for women to save seats for women. There were protests from within political parties that it's a democracy, we should all go. Affirmative action, today we cite Rwanda, Uganda, they are not better countries than us. Affirmative action requires that when you recognize a disparity that cannot bridge itself by allowing organic, because the control of power and resources will forever be in the hands, or so far is in the hands of men. As we speak, it will take 135 years to bridge the gender pay gap, according to the latest, I need to sip water. The latest report from World Economic Forum. So if I write a post empathizing with these the hardworking women of the NPP and telling them that it is a recognition, at least the names that came up, is that this is the statement, is there. The names that came up is a recognition of their competence. However, this is what I said, and this is what I've always said, that we must learn to punish or reward political parties who either who show commitment. You reward those who show commitment to the cause, punish those who fail to show commitment to the cause. So we have asked for something. If one political party has delivered it, they deserve commendation. They also deserve reward, because we want to break a glass ceiling. We want Ghana 67 years on after independence to be able to say that we have been able to achieve this, breakthrough. We want that. If they have failed to cede to your own pleadings, Natoshi, even though she is today, of course, that's what she should do as a good member of a political party. She is rallying support for the Napo Baumia ticket. That's what she ought to do. But she, in that same program, said yes. She was disappointed that a woman was not considered. You know them; they are your friends. In the quietude of our interactions, those lived and shared experiences are shared for all of us to hear. So my point is that the MPP women, this is an appeal I make to them, a suggestion I make to them, that they can embark on a quiet protest by supporting the Nana Jane John ticket. Because the way in which politicians continue to avoid accountability is to knock heads together and to come and now tell you that, oh, you people don't bring anything to the ticket. when women form women banks, you know, there are vote banks, the concept of vote banks has worked in so many other areas, even in our own country here. When a couple of years ago in elections, when you're going into villages, Tabitha, you've seen them, you would see black placards, no water, no votes, no this, no light, no vote. This is communities asserting their demands. And so the idea of vote banks exists in different jurisdictions. The women's vote is a vital vote. We have not leveraged that power.
So no women, no vote.
No women, no vote. And I'm saying that make a quiet protest. I didn't say come and sit on air and agree with me. I will not let you do that, because if you do that, you face the consequences in your party. I won't let you do that. If it was NDC who had failed to chosen Nana, I probably would have supported the party on a quiet, and still be advocating for these things. There are actions that are taken that are transgenerational actions. Those actions must be seen for what they are, irrespective of the protest. Even within the NDC, John showed commitment, went with Nana in 2020, has decided to go with her again. She's accomplished and she is dedicated. Let me just say something about the NAPO ticket. The value is the same. The value is the same. The gospel, according to Dr. Baumia, is that a running mate might bring nothing much to bear on the ticket because you are not in the driver's seat. 2008, I was covering Parliament.
But you, as an NDC party, do you go with that school of thought? That a running mate brings nothing to the table?
No, on this matter, I am going with the school of thought of the MPP. Flag bearers. This is his school of thought. So I am, maybe his experiences has shown that. I don't, as for the NDC, the experiences has not shown that. In the time of the late Evans Atta Mills, and how active we saw Vice President John Dramani Mahama, in the time of John working with Nana Jane, we have seen a president who is committed, who is a team player, who gives power and allows for his partner to also work. We have seen statements. The JM has made statements regarding the specific areas that will be of focus to Professor Nana Jane. The social sectors, health, education, all of these, gender, inclusion, children, they're all going to be focus areas for this candidate. The value is the same. Now, concluding on this, and if Ghanaians are listening to me, I'm speaking now not to the members of the NPP. Perhaps those disgruntled members of the fair-minded people within the New Patriotic Party, who themselves, Kofi Bentel, who today endorses the Baumia Napo ticket, is the same person who has said that the management of this economy has been at best disastrous. His hope in buying the narrative of Dr. Baumia that I was not in the driver's seat, so try me, Somishe, that is Bright, Kofi Bentel's approach. But we have heard from members of the New Patriotic Party. That's why I'm saying that always start with members. Clean your house first, because a lot of the things that we hear are from inside. Even up to the contest, leading up to the presidential primary contest, it was Kennedy Ejapon who came to tell us so many things about the inner workings of the New Patriotic Party. It is the likes of Oseiche Mensah Bonsu who gave us what the image or the conduct of a running mate should be. It was the likes of Nano Ehining-To who has had to leave the New Patriotic Party, a party that says development in freedom, is the one that has basically hounded out founding members of its party. Alan Kojo Tramantin has had to run to go and create a butterfly movement, which wings I'm sure will not be able to fly anywhere. We all know that, unfortunately. We are running a duopoly. We have chosen democracy as our vehicle for governance. In this democracy, in other advanced, nations. It has evolved around two emerging forces. And this goes directly to my young people who are watching, the first-time voters. Do not let anyone box you into any corner and deceive you. We, as Ghanaians, have evolved our democracy around two political parties. Whether that is good or bad, that is what we have. There's not been an emergence of any third strong force. What we need to do is to ensure that between these two political parties, we increase accountability demands on them. We insist on the necessary reforms on them. We make them more effective in the management of our resources and ensuring that they deliver on the social contract. So now you don't have to be historically, filially, through friends, affiliated with any of these two political parties if you are not yet made up your mind that you want to belong fully. The destiny of this country is always ultimately determined by those swing voters. That pool of swing voters is people who are non-aligned, is people who are neutrals generally. They don't have any strong emotive connections with any of these two political parties. They will make their decisions based on their own issues, going into an election. Is in that same pool is also disgruntled members of either the ruling government, even sometimes the opposition government as well, because there will always be people who will be disgruntled by the sharing of positions, by the sharing of roles, and they will have their own issues in that pool. To that pool, I tell you that do not make a mistake of rewarding any group of people who have been the greatest beneficiaries of our collective disarray. Don't. My message is that anybody, the NPP has been in power for 8 years. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia was the vice president for 8 years. Dr. Bawumia cannot pick and choose which of the ills or gains of the NPP he accepts and rejects. Okay. He can't. Okay. Where we are now is a decay. And we need to understand the level of that decay. We cannot trust the people who have brought us to where we are to be the ones to leverage, to see us through a reset process. It's just a logical process. Because when you are under investigation and you are in the position of power, what will they tell you? They will ask you to step aside. Yeah. They will ask you to step aside. Either you have to resign or you go away and wait for the investigations to be completed. You have said that you have not done anything wrong in this administration. But wrongs have happened in this administration. Give yourself 4 years, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and Napu. Give yourself 4 years. Let a new person come in. And let us understand the true states of Ghana's economy. Okay. Let us understand the real states of Ghana's economy. Then and only then, they are young, age is on their side. You can come back and redeem yourself. And to do that, to navigate that change in uncharted times that you have described, unprecedented happenings of old people, pensioners picketing in front of finance for their own money, unprecedented, head cuts, deferred obligations on children of Ghana who had no role. And yet in the face of that, we see what we see. Do not let anyone gaslight you into thinking that what you feel, the pain you feel, the hardships you go through when you go to the market and your money is not measuring up. Do not let the New Patriotic Party or its communicators deceive you into thinking that there's something wrong with your mind. There's nothing wrong with your mind. The exasperation you're feeling, the depression you're feeling is occasioned about the misgovernance we have witnessed in unprecedented levels and the lack of integrity that nobody in this government is willing to accept any role whatsoever in the bringing us to where we are. They are always referring to global crisis, global this, Russian. Global crisis in the UK has seen, cost of living crisis in the UK has seen the voting out of the Conservative government. Right. And the voting in of Labour. And the Prime Minister said that indeed the people of UK has delivered a sobering verdict. Let it be that come December 7, the people of Ghana will deliver an outstanding, unquestionable, sobering verdict for those who fail and refuse to accept responsibility for their misgovernance.
So someone wanted to find out, it says that Tabitha doesn't know the difference between admission list and fees, where in the items listed has school fees with costs related to it. The items you showed, do we have school fees to it? Okay, I think if I have some time, I'll give you. Let me read. I have many messages on my phone. I'll try and give you some time. The clarity of thoughts, appreciation of issues, practical solution, and excellent delivery by media. The media encounter yesterday means some people learn on the job and gather experience. Others will come and tell you they are just a mate first year. Okay, I haven't gotten there yet, but Prekese Kwame, aristocrats, Kaswa Old Barrier sent us message. Napo is not tagged as arrogant. He is actually arrogant, and the record is there for everyone to see. Tabitha should spare us the flack. No amount of perfume or deodorant they will smear on him that will change the fact that Napo is not only arrogant but also, I will not mention that. Maxwell, probably you sent that in. I can understand why you write that, but that is too strong for me to use on air. Now, Helga says, I'm sorry, but I am particularly tired of this MPP dribble being spewed daily. The flag bearer and his RM are in government now. Why will they not fix our current catastrophic ailing economy, but will rather tell us that they will do magic in 2025? Let them fix the economy now, like now. You say, Bridget Otu, good morning to you. She said, today I paid 3,200 cedis for someone's school fees under someone's for school educational items, whatever, under free SHS. Good morning, and Napo is a choice for only a few NPP members, not the entire NPP membership, let alone the nation. Such an arrogant, disrespectful person, you say partner with blah blah blah, cannot gain widespread support. If they bring in Pope John Paul to partner with them, they will still be headed for opposition. Simplicita. My regards to Shamima Carlos from Odododio. You said that in okay, let me skip this, I think.
It's so weird, eh?
Yeah?
Some people are still in the business. So.
No. The business is booming.
It's booming.
It's booming. Haja Sada sent this. Good morning. Okay. I think I'll read this later, Haja. So first year in SHS, I paid 500 cedis to augment feeding for the past semester. Next semester, there's another 500 cedis to pay apart from all the food and provisions I spend on. 2, I have bought books worth 1,200 cedis already. 3, the schools break and the children come home every 2 months. Each time I'm paying 800 cedis for 2 months vacation classes. It used to be only once during long vac. This is the experience of parents I know in all SHSs. It's annoying hearing MPP communicators talk like this. You didn't add your name, but thank you. Napo had spearheaded a chaotic and disorganized implementation of otherwise a good policy-free SHS. Under Napo, problems in the energy sector has worsened. More chaos in the sector. Napo's ministry is now taxing and borrowing heavily to pay debt arrears to IPPs. To some of us, whether it's arrogant or assertive, it's neither here nor there. He has simply proving himself incompetent. Good morning. For Mansa Musa, UK, Mansa Musa, thank you for the message. Ambassador Edith Hazel says, my greetings to Shamima. I like her confidence and her in-depth knowledge of the subject matter, considering the immense contribution of 31st DWM is raising the political awareness of women. Nanado's comment at the conference was inaccurate. Go, Shamima. Good morning to you, Ambassador. Now, Chumbafo says that good morning, and you're hosting the host. Are we? Yes.
I was telling you that it's easier to be where you are than to be here.
I do all the talking, yeah. Now she's in the hot seat, huh?
Very hot
So, yeah, it's wonderful to see my sister Shamima after so long.
Yeah.
Yes. Musa Batwa says that, Annie, Tabitha Aliria is not making meaning to me. The bone of contention is that who started free SHS and not who started talking about it. But I understand her because President Mohammed's encounter with media has dazzled them so they are running as far as Iraq, looking for weapons of mass destruction just to quench and punch Mahama. I totally agree with Shamima in respect of gender equality in our in our political landscape, because I am currently doing my master's on the topic women and mass politics, and I can confirm that women are very vital when it comes with decision making and policy implementation. However, I love Shamima's custom. You make Muslim women in public dressing so simple. People are asking me questions. Annie, why were you in scarf yesterday? So didn't you see that I look like a Muslim woman? So, yes. Now I hope you pray. Shamima, Samira Baumia will take. Oh, maybe I already quit. So I spoken nicely, and now you are talking something else. Anyway, so Honorable Patrick Boma, good morning to you, and I see your message. Hassan Ayarga says that good morning, Annie. Please tell my sister Shamima I admire her presentation, but I disagree with her analogy of no party has presented itself as a third force. Let's not blame only MPP and for the crisis we face today, NDC included. So for the first time voters, please, APC is an option to NPP and NDC, and that is a third strong force.
APC has not structures to do anything beneficial to us. None of the political parties have any structures, including the individual
structures that these two strong political
you require
parties have.
Structures, and you require a certain understanding of the system, and that's why JM is a better and safer option.
Okay,
he's credible.
Evans,
he's been there. He understands the terrain. He knows. Look, we will come to JM.
We'll come today. Evans Dinko says that, Danny, I can trust my God, and grossly concluded that John Mahama schooled the former finance minister Ken Ofori-Atta Bawumia together with the MPP solid team on economics and general knowledge of how to govern Ghana. Wow, great encounter with media gurus. Looks like you guys were impressed with a lot of questions. We have been blessed with the presidential candidate who, as a cabinet minister, told us that he will demonstrate against a whole group of indigents who had been affected by floods if they were rescued. Does Napo now hope to be their vice president? Chumboff is asking that question. Adam Bona is also watching, says that okay, Adam Bona, this one I'll keep it. But Kofigo says that, good morning, Annie. Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman to Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh in Ghana politics. It's like you are comparing Eric, and Hag to Carlo Ancelotti in UEFA Champions League. Napo is Ancelotti and Professor Jane is Eric Ten Hag. From Kofi Chermante. Kofi, go. Don't be naughty. Anyway, many messages. Okay, all right. Bridget also supporting my work. Bridget, thank you, thank you. But let's take a breather. Talk about floods. The message I received. I know that the Water River Authority has released a statement again, and they said the notification of possible controlled spillage of water from the Akonsombo Dam, stakeholder engagement. The Water River Authority intends to commence engagements regarding the potential controlled spillage of water from the Akonsombo Dam. This precautionary measure is crucial to maintaining the structural integrity of the dam and ensuring that the safety of our communities. We propose to engage you and the relevant team to discuss the potential implications, mitigative measures, and information dissemination. The underdesigned will be following up to confirm So undersigned, okay, so the undersigned will be following up to confirm the suitability of the dates and time for engagement. We count on your utmost cooperation. This is signed by Engineer Kenafa, Deputy Chief Executive for Services. I actually have tried to contact the VRA. They have not responded to it yet. But there's a notice. I know, I was looking for the video where Okujeto Ablakwa made a statement on the floor of Parliament last week that he had picked intel on this. And so, and this also came the same last week, July 5. And they released a statement following the statement made by Ablakwa on the floor of Parliament. And so we want to keep these and follow up with the dates and the, what's it called? The correspondence that will happen between the VRA and the people and stakeholders. You know what we have faced, right? And there's denial, there's disaster, there's, you know, nobody wants to take responsibility of what happened to the people. We don't know what has happened to the over 200 million also that was allocated to the people yet. So we're still finding out. And as we have some more time, we'll get into that. But let me take a breather. Yesterday, the press also met. The press met the press. Yeah. And issues came up. And His Excellency, former president, said he is willing or he's getting ready to reset Ghana. Right? We'll be back shortly.
Again.
Hello, thank you for calling MTN.
This is Jerry, Jolly J for short.
How may I help?
I'm not happy with you guys at all. You've been giving Bongo gifts all the time.
Who is Bongo?
Oh, Bongo, my friend. He purchased in my room.
Oh.
You've been giving free gifts, but I don't.
That's MTN rewards, sir. Talk, text, browse, and more, and you get to redeem free call time or data by simply dialing *550#. And on Fridays, you can even get extra special rewards like food vouchers, shopping discounts, and much more.
Papa didn't tell me anything. Would you like to know how I got the name Jolly J?
That won't be necessary, Mr. Jolly. Calling customer care service doesn't give you points.
I'm gonna call my mom. I'll call my grandma. And I'll call my ex. That girl can talk, Papa. Hello, Mama. So what's the topic for today?
MTN.
Rise and shine. It's another day to stay on point. Toast is Friday, it's still on point. Watch is Friday all day long. Still on point, yes, it's still on point. It's still on point. Watch is Friday, it's still on point. For your bread,
it's creamy.
For your toast, it's still on point. It's yummy, delicious. It's still on point. Still on point. Yes, it's still on point. It's still on point. Still on point. Yes, it's still on point. It's still on point. For your toast, it's still on point. It's still on point. Fortune spread. It's yummy, delicious. It's still on point.
Fortune spread, delicious, creamy, and always on point. This advert is FDA approved.
Bet, blast, boom! Exclusively on Betway. Win up to 300% more when you play FlyX with Win Boost from Betway. Betway, get way more.
In today's modern world, stairs are a challenge, especially for our elderly and those with health concerns. Navigating them can be difficult and even dangerous, but there's a safer way to move vertically. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, your answer to a more accessible and secure vertical transportation. Our elevators and escalators, including top-of-the-line pneumatic vacuum elevators, Fuji elevators and escalators, offer a safer and more convenient alternative, eliminating the risks of stairs and enhancing accessibility for homes, businesses, and hospitals. Choose safety and convenience with Lifts and Elevators Limited Company. Elevate your spaces today. For more information, visit our website at www.elevatorsgh.org or call now on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, the elevator people.
Bar Herbal Hospital. Specialists in every kind of bone disease.
Bar Herbal Hospital. Eh, baby, a son of Whipia. Nanso, Yari, Sapa, a dumpemu yari.
Spinal cord, swelling of the arms, arthritis, bone injury, swelling of the leg with reddish color around it, and so on. See, Bar Herbal Hospital has special ultra-modern machine for checking up the body. I have tried them and I got good results. Try Bar Herbal Hospital.
The luckiest.
Star 712 hash.
Luck is everywhere. For everyone. Luck it's men missing opportunity to be the luckiest. It's time to put some smile on your face. Still asking what luck means? At Luckiest, we believe it's more than just chance. It's joy waiting to happen.
Let's go.
Dial star 712 hash. Now pass your tickets not as a group, individual, and as a community. Now participating in the Luckiest from the 1st of July 2024. Grand draw near 30th November 2024. Luck is everywhere with the Luckiest. The Luckiest is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform and is not for persons below 18 years. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, you're welcome back to the program, and I'm still in the studio with the host, who's now the guest, Shamima Muslim, and also Tabitha with me from the NPP as well. Quick one. So Ayesoko Betway is giving you more control over every thrilling bet you place. Enjoy the biggest and most reliable cash outs in Ghana today. Betway without any hassle. So sign up today on betway.com.ga. Terms and conditions applied, and it's also not for persons under 18. Please, regulated by the Gaming Commission. Betway, Getway, more. Blue Jeans energy drink is also available on the market and it's been there for 20 years. So we already know what it does for the body. It contains nutrients including vitamin B2, B3, B6, B12, and taurine and guarana, which are known to boost your strength and energy as well as promote high performance and endurance. Blue Jeans energy drink has been tested and tried and is also indeed the best on the market. So be bold and go for it as active men and women. Grab a cold can, empower your day. Contact them for bulk purchase on Budget Cash and Carry Limited on 0208 128 190 or 055001 0000. Let's go into the evening grilling of His Excellency the former president just last night, where media personnel all met at Kempinski Hotel to interact with the man in question. Shamima, so some of the issues ranged from, I'll start with myself, 24-hour economy. Yeah. Others, were about cathedral, others were about corruption, others were about the economy, others were about education. I mean, I think it cut across all the sectors, but the questions were indeed so pertinent and very important. A lot of the journalists didn't have the opportunity because it went really late into the night till about 11 p.m. People were saying that, is he not tired? Like, cameramen were tired. Yes. They were asking why he was not tired.
No, he can't be, because he's ready to put this nation to work, and the leader cannot be tired, lest his workmen and women become tired. JM can't be tired. We saw, as I was driving, checking social media, coming here this morning, everybody was saying that JM was on top of his brief. People were saying that Ayabida JM really showed a broad, wide understanding, deep knowledge about the workings of every aspect of our nation. No leader can match him in that regard. They said, if you like, do some. That's what I'm saying. That's what I heard. People are saying that if you like, come and do some. But let me just start, you know, and just give a broad overview of just what happened yesterday. Yeah. We had over 20, just about 29 questions yesterday. Oh, he really? Fielded, yes, I counted. He fielded about 29 questions in 4 rounds of 6, 5, 7, and 10. And you saw so many people still wanted to ask, you know, questions of JM. That was very wonderful and brilliant for me. And
so some of the issues that he touched on, he said Mahama pledges lean government, highly efficient government to curb expenditure. That's 60 ministers and deputies, as he said. Mahama to set up office to scrutinize procurement, procurement about $5 million. National Cathedral will conduct forensic audit to when we win power. And also we had issues of free SHS, NHIS, others. John Mahama lists social interventions by NDC government. Free SHS has come to stay. Well, a lot more. I think, Shamima, you can address.
So I'm going to start from the supra level, also to share what the objectives of the Great Reset that, you know, President John Dramani Mahama is speaking about. He's speaking about the Great Reset because that is what we require to do to, you know, bring us back onto transformative ways. And he is going to dedicate the next 4 years into ensuring that we plug those holes and ensure we do the right things. JM yesterday showed a resilience of thought and energy. Yesterday he showed his integrity because in the face of these questions, he conceded where he needed to concede. And I am so happy that he was able to address some of the contrived narratives around his era by conceding that no government is perfect. There will be failings, and also rehashing what his vision for his new government will be. Come through Christ our Lord to join. To come, January 2025, inshallah, as God will it. Number one, for a great reset to happen, there needs to be change. There needs to be a recognition that we are in a deep, dark space, and that requires change. Like I told you, you cannot expect those that are responsible for a problem to be the one to effectively fix the problem. So his message first to the people of Ghana is, you have experienced me in the past. You've experienced my government in the past. You've experienced the contrived narratives around corruption. Till date, he has dared people. He has dared the NPP 8 years on. Please, you have said I have been corrupt, this and that. Bring the evidence, prosecute me. None has happened. Let us throw that one in the dustbin, okay? He gave us examples of actions that were taken against members of his own government, because the truest test of the integrity of a leader is what he does to his own people when they are found wanting. And he gave a stern warning to anybody who might be aspiring to serve in his next government to beware. Your own people. He mentioned specifically the case of Abu Gapele, and the JIDA report that he himself released to the media. I would take a Manasseh Awuri Azuni's assessment of the JM's government any day when he says that of all the work he did as an investigative journalist, he felt safer under a JM government than he has ever felt in this government. That is telling. Ghanaians must take that to the bank. And the first question was around the issue of press freedoms anyway. And it's glad to know that JM continues to be a member of the GJA in good standing. It is very glad. I think we are glad as members of the media to understand his appreciation of the issues. And his honesty in telling us that with some of the requirements, we have to sit and argue out and decide just what kind of reforms journalists want. That is very progressive for me. So for the reset to happen, change needs to happen, which means that this government needs to be changed come December 7th.
Not necessarily, but the one that was VIP says that I was not totally, absolutely in charge.
Please leave that out.
The change will happen, but it may be...
Please leave it out. I'm saying that him, the Vice President, Dr. Wahomia, has been the greatest beneficiary, acting and serving in the second highest position of the land, enjoyed all the material gains of that office, even in the face of the excruciating pain and hardship that his people in Waliwale, my maternal grandparents settled in Waliwale, so we have that Waliwale connection. That kind of pain has been experienced under his watch. If I were him, I wouldn't contest this election. I would wait, because you say you are innocent of so many things. Let us independently verify the level or the extent of your innocence. Let us understand what has happened in this state. So we cannot, change means remove the people who have been responsible for this unprecedented amount and extent of borrowing, to the extent that we are where we are today, back to the, IMF. Remove them first. That's how, reset begins. And when you do, you now need to start a process of halting the decay. Almost all institutions of states are witnessing fast-paced decay. Accountability institutions, the state institutions, judiciary is facing its own, challenges. Every arm of government is witnessing unprecedented levels of decay. So we need to halt the decay. Our monies are leaking in unprecedented amounts. This government has borrowed more than every government in Ghana. And you see, I remember I used to tell you, the same Kweku Kwati used to ask that, all this borrowing you have done, show us the tangibles. All this borrowing you have done, show us the tangibles. When we're showing them the hospitals, they didn't see. Because how dare you wake somebody up who is intentionally asleep with one eye open? When we showed the hospitals, they didn't see. When we showed the pictures of the infrastructural developments that were happening across the length and breadth of this country, the roads, they didn't see. When we showed the implementation of the vision of a truly progressive and free senior high school education by the building of school infrastructure, so that our children will not go and lie in maggot-infested rooms and makeshift places. When we showed them the pictures of the food they were being fed in these schools, and to say that no, if we had worked well with this policy, its implementation should have been better. They didn't see it because they didn't want to see it. They will keep asking, where and what did you do with the money? So it's a fair question to ask. Where and what did you do with the monies that you said were sitting in the Bank of Ghana vault, which today the Bank of Ghana Governor Addison tells us needs recapitalization? Where is the money that you told us that yetisikaso nso ekomdien? Today people are doing 1010. You know what that means? So I'm just saying that forget the indicators and statistics, because you see, governments and economics, they can always fetch economic figures to tell the story that they want. The objective figures are there, and you've seen them. Under JM and under Baumia, 120 billion, Ghana cedis assets, December 2016, total debt, 600 billion debt is what we are currently sitting in, with head cuts, including pensioners' head cuts. The revenue they have received as of 2016, 248 billion, 830 billion. The excuse of always referring, I don't want to go through all that, but what I'm just going to tell you that if you are a student, no worries that you are enjoying free senior high school, which is brilliant, because from where I come from, Upper West, but for education, I will not be sitting here today. So some of us will be the last people to parry trying to bridge the educational gap, especially between
where the areas that we come from, the areas that Tapida comes from, in Bolga, Upper West, when you go, the levels of poverty, even with free senior high school education, it is worse in these areas. So some of us, as you know, JM has said, we will be the last people to say that we don't support free education. You know, but when there's a vision, there's also the implementation of the vision. And every vision is stated, but its implementation ought to be targeted. The same people who are telling us that it was okay to implement free senior high school without the requisite infrastructure in place first are the same people asking us that how can you implement a 24-hour economy without the requisite infrastructure? How did you implement a free senior high school without the requisite infrastructure?
So you want to do the same?
No, it's not doing the same. I'm just using their own argument because JM's argument is clear. You build on existing systems. So again, yeah, I'm moving into the 24-hour economy
because it
now.
was, I think it was on the break of my question. Yes.
And you see, please, people of Ghana, there are people who will never hear what you want to say to them when you say it to them. The NPP keeps asking, explain it, as if they will hear it when you explain it. So they are not the ones I speak to. I speak to those who genuinely want to understand, and to understand the program, first understand its vision. We have agreed, the NPP government has told us that we are in difficult times, requiring everybody to tighten their belts. We have agreed on that. It is not contested. So when you are in unprecedented times, where the unemployment rates have reached critical levels, where multi-dimensional poverty has increased to alarming levels, where many people have fallen below the poverty line, meaning that they are food insecure, they are social service insecure, they are security insecure because they do not have the capacities, like Amartya Sen was saying, the capacities to be able to live a life of dignity by being able to access the things, the services that will grant them that life of dignity. When you are living in that situation, it is unprecedented times that will call for unprecedented measures. We can't go, we are still in an IMF program, mind you. We cannot go a borrowing anymore. So we need to look within. We are actually literally on our own as Ghanaians. We need to look within. How do we deploy our existing human capital? We've done it before. Operation Feed Yourself, put the nation to work. So please understand the vision first, I beg you. The vision is that we are in a place where we need to put our nation to work. To put our nation to work does not mean we do not recognize what the bottlenecks are. That's what a vision is. State the vision and now come out to tell us how you're going to implement the vision. So we are saying, put the nation to work by ensuring that all existing companies and SMEs, individuals who are able and capable of resetting their operations, because a lot of businesses have been run aground. And yet people need jobs. And Annie, he was speaking right to you when he told you that in other jurisdictions, they are importing labor. Here we are with abundance of labor. So when they tell you that look within, it means that dear person, dear citizen, whatever your hands find to do, let's speak first to the masses before the organized, sectors of our economy. Right. Whatever entrepreneurship is growing now, don't you see it every day on Instagram? Young people are making juices and selling. They are creating art pieces and selling. They're using their talents. We want a system where we echo a vision, a clarion call. It is a call to action that this government, where it has brought us, will not be able to usher us out of these doldrums with any further borrowing. So we need to ramp up productivity. And to ramp up productivity, of course, if you're a logical person, you will do the assessment. What do we have to work with?
Yeah,
which companies do we have to work with? What systems are existing that we can leverage today? Even the free senior high school, was there not a process of planning before the implementation of it? So there's got to be a process of planning. And to plan, you need policies. Investors respond to policies, framework. So what are the policies? Tax breaks. If you are able to revamp, refit, retrofit if it's a manufacturing space that you have? What is your challenge? How many people can you take upon? It is a clarion call to the people of Ghana that it will take you and I to get ourselves back to work to ensure that we are able to stabilize. Whilst we are doing that, we are keeping an eye on the corruption that has brought us there, because again, people must be punished for wrongdoing. We are stopping the decay. We are running a lean government. We are ensuring resilience in the systems that exist. And we are looking at where the wrongs happened. That is another level of it. Turning around the economy. The economy, corruption, and jobs. These are the three main drivers of this year's elections. Economy, corruption, and jobs. If the economy is one, how do we energize the economy from where we are now if we don't put people to work? People need to get to work. Yeah. And the government's responsibility, as it sees it, will be to provide that enabling environment. Identify all the ports, DVLA, all the service providing institutions that are able to, because they have existing systems already, but who are encumbered as a result of the limited working space of time. Containers, paying demurrage, being at the ports, the turnaround time at the port. I remember in 2012, it was a question that we asked of the vice presidential candidate. That time, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia was the vice presidential candidate, the IEA debate. I was one of the moderators with Kojo Opon. Yeah. I remember I asked specifically about the turnaround time at the ports and how other African countries have a shorter turnaround time and what we need to do to ensure that we also implement that. Harbors that are not being used, people are going to Togo and wait to buy cars. We're losing a lot of money. There are so many leakages, all because of procurement politics, all because some people have ensured that this system will benefit only them and not the mass of people. Right. The nation will be put to work. The 24-hour economy would work with existing corporations, institutions, state-owned enterprises that government has power over to ensure that we put them to work beyond an 8-hour shift. Beyond that, every individual, every micro-scale enterprises, medium-scale enterprise, every individual entrepreneur, whatever your hand finds to do, the message is do it. If you can do a backyard garden, do it. It is a clarion call. It is a call to action. It is a vision that will be targeted for those who are able and willing to plug in to the policies, the enabling policies that would ensure that they expand their operations, increase opportunities, so people can earn incomes and be able to live a life of dignity.
Right, Shamima, thank you. Tabitha, let me have you. Did you actually get the chance to go through or watch it on screen like a lot of people did? No, yesterday I didn't get Okay, but have you abreast yourself with some of the issues he responded to?
No, I haven't. But I think when I go, I will have to take a listen to him, because yesterday I slept very early. In her first submission, before I'll get to this one, I thought probably you would have given me some few minutes to rebut, but you didn't, and so I would like to go back a little.
You spoke and she spoke. No one had a chance to rebut, so I didn't want to waste more time.
That's why I thought. That's why I said I thought you would give us some time to rebut. That is what I said, because all that I said, she only did rebutting of what I said. That's just it. So I was thinking maybe you will also give us 1 or 2 minutes to do that. Now, let me get to this issue of women in politics, okay? It has always been a struggle. Nobody can hide from that. As a woman in politics, I've also had my own fair share of challenges and whatever. But you see, for lack of a better word, let me say that let's shun hypocrisy when there is an issue that we all need to talk about, especially when it comes to women. Anybody who knows me knows very well that I'm a feminist. I believe in the girl power, because I have had my own share of challenges growing up. I remember back at primary school, when I topped the class, the boys would beat me for topping the class. Yes, it's real, and it hasn't stopped. It goes way till even in your adult life, and so we understand the challenges. But where you come, you have an opportunity to expose society to some of these things, then you try to paint party colors to it. That is where I have a problem. Because we were all in this country when Nana Konadu Agyemang Rawlings wanted to be president. How did your party treat the woman? So embarrassing. A woman who toiled with her husband as the founder of a party. How did you people treat the woman? And today you are sitting here talking as if MPP has done the worst to its women. Let's shun the hypocrisy and let's talk to our men. Let's talk to society. Let's even talk to our own selves as women, the way we treat ourselves. You can't tell me that. You can't tell me that when you were talking, I never interjected. I don't know why anytime I'm here, when I'm here and I'm talking, people interject and you let them do it. But you realize that all the time, I keep quiet. Please. Maybe.
She says sorry.
Yes, it's okay. So let's shun the hypocrisy. It's not fair. Your women, the women in your party, do you know how they feel with the kind of elevation they've given you already? That you didn't pass through the ranks.
What elevation have they given
no,
you?
because as at 2 weeks ago, or is it 3 weeks, I was supposed to be on a show in GTV, and she was part. She was supposed to be one of the communicators, but then she came as a neutral. Then all of a sudden today we see her as NDC.
Who? Me? No, that's a lie.
No.
Was I ever on a program
There
with
was
you?
a flyer.
Please,
and then the
a
message came
complete lie.
No, I have the flyer here.
But I was not on the show with you. Was
You
I
didn't
on the
come.
show with
So
you?
how did that happen?
Did you? So ask the producer.
Because before
my
they will
sister,
bring you
ask the producer.
on the
Don't
show,
come and lie.
they will give you a
Ask
flyer.
you
They will
used to
ask
lying.
you whether you are
MPP is
coming.
lying too much.
I have the flyer
Did you see
here.
me
I
there?
will show it to
Did you see
viewers.
me there?
You didn't come. That didn't mean that.
So
you
ask
didn't
the
have plans of
producer why
coming.
I didn't come.
No, they said you
Let's
said,
take
and
to
the
the
message
issues.
came in the morning.
Let's take
Normally,
to the issues, please.
Can you hold your horses? I don't know why you people always
No, but
do
you're
that.
lying.
I'm not
So don't
lying.
lie.
So even if you think I
Don't
am
lie.
lying, just like you lied earlier, why can't you hold your breath?
Yes, madam.
Be
Please
the
continue.
lady everybody knows.
Oh,
you to
I
be.
am a lady.
That's what I'm
Sorry,
saying. So
my sister.
be.
Continue.
Yes, thank you. And so let's face the issue. From our cultural background, even me as a Guruni woman, traditionally, I'm not supposed to inherit anything that is for my father. Culturally, that is it. This is the problem we have as a nation. So when we are addressing them, let's not attach party colors. That is my message to you this morning. And if we are talking about any party that has dealt mercilessly with their women, your party is one. Today, your founder's wife is nowhere to be found in the NDC, and you are not embarrassed. You are sitting on national television telling Ghanaians how they have treated MPP women. Let's face it, society hasn't been kind to women. Let's leave it there. Now let's move on.
Can I just respond to that so that
no,
you move
can't
on?
respond.
No, I will respond.
No.
Sorry, you know what? So let me just tie in this one because
do
she's
this.
moving.
Write it down.
Okay.
I've been
All right.
writing. I have a lot of things here to say.
No, you responded to the
Then
first
she
comment,
already
Annie. It will be
write it
best
down.
to tie that
You
so that
want
we
to
move
spoil the
on.
conversation
Okay.
this morning. I don't know why you people always do this.
Go ahead.
MPP and Buga Buga.
It's not buga buga.
Buga
my sister, you
Buga
are
will
doing
kill
buga
you
buga.
guys.
Tabitha, go ahead.
Go on.
Because I'm the one who is supposed to talk and you are talking. Anyway, then let's move on to the hypocrisy that they showed in the educational sector. When you look at NPP and the policies that we have implemented so far, women have been the biggest beneficiaries. NPP came and introduced the free maternal health care. And we can all testify that a lot of women enjoyed this policy. I'm one. I had 2 kids and I never paid 1 Ghana cedi for the kids that I had. There is statistics to show maternal mortality before and after the implementation of free health insurance. Let us not sit on national television and
Are they still enjoying
think
that
we
policy
can
now?
deceive Ghanaians.
Are they still enjoying that policy now?
Then you move on
Tabitha.
to how the educational
Tabitha, is that
sector. You
policy
see,
still effective now?
Annie, When she was talking, you never interjected.
So I can't ask questions.
You can, but let me finish my submission. Let me finish my submission. It's all, you see,
healthcare. Is this still
increasingly, viewers are beginning to realize that this platform doesn't really treat NPP communicators very well.
Why are you always
playing victim?
I'm not playing victim. I'm being factual.
Always playing victim.
When she was heckling me,
I did not heckle you.
My this thing to tell her that
you lied.
She should
and
keep
I was
quiet.
just trying to tell you to stop
and
lying.
I'm exposing your lies, and you are being uneasy here. Let me move on.
I don't like responding to people when they are making accusations and allegations.
Okay.
But to be fair,
so what I'm trying to say is
stick to the issue.
Let's reduce the interjections because I realized she was flowing and flying like a free bird.
To be fair to
but when I'm going to make my submission, you keep interjecting.
I will still make the point.
I'm not saying don't make your point.
You were here.
But it's like after 1 to 2 minutes, you are coming in.
Please give me that respect and regard.
I have always respected you.
She was here, and you made a specific statement about her person. She had every right to respond to it.
She did same to me, but I kept quiet.
It's okay.
The problem is that let's leave it. I don't expect you to say anything.
What did I do?
It's okay. Let me keep it fair because my time is going. Let me.
Annie, it's okay. Please allow her. Annie, please.
She did same to you, and you decided not to respond to it.
What did I? That is even another error. What did I do to her?
I have always been like that.
Annie,
I
please
have
allow.
never interjected any of my co-panelists.
Go ahead. But your submission does not stop any host to ask you follow-up.
You can ask. I'm talking about the interjections coming from the other side. Okay. And also, at least, I've been checking. When she's making a submission, you let her move. And for me, within seconds, you are questioning. Another thing is that she talked about the educational sector and how poorly some things were instituted. Nobody's saying that we never had challenges implementing our free senior high school policy. Nobody said so. Okay? But let's go back and find out what they were doing to students. Now, we have a news item on Graphic Online in July 24, 2023. And the headline was that students who were supposed to be taking their WAEC exams were walked out of the exam hall. Can you imagine a government like this today saying we should give them Ghana to rule? Then you go back to, no, that is rather for GNA, that is Ghana News Agency, 21st April 2015. And there's also another news headline where they asked parents to pay the fees of their students. If not, they wouldn't release their exams score to them. But today, we have students who even apply to tertiary institutions whilst awaiting their results. This is how we have gone. This is how far we have moved Ghana. This is the government that Ghanaians should give their votes to. We are not here doing rhetorics. Then when it comes to jobs, so far, as of February 2024, we have given Ghanaians over 2.1 million jobs. And this statistics, I'm taking it from SNET, so that nobody will have any problems. Because there are other ones that were not captured under SNET. But under SNET, we have 2.1 million jobs. Public sector recruited 1.2 million. And they are still recruiting. I don't know if you are aware, but tens of thousands of people who completed colleges of education are being recruited as it stands. So this is a government that is bent on developing the nation. Now you come and sit here and tell Ghanaians that NPP has overborrowed. Let's go back to the history of borrowing. You go to Bank of Ghana. This is statistics that is coming from Bank of Ghana, not my own statistics. And they said at around 2000, the year 2000, Ghana's debt was somewhere around 7.15 million US dollars. By the time the NDC came and left power, they had taken it from the $7 million to $29 million. Then MPP, as it stands now, the total debt of Ghana is $51 million. Now do the maths and tell me what percentage or what amount did MPP as a government borrow? And let's now talk about who has borrowed more and shown nothing. Are you talking about institutions? We have built more institutions.
Hey.
So far in the history of Ghana, we are the only government that has made sure that we build more hospitals than any other government. Sometimes you give them opportunity to talk, and all they can talk about is to talk about UGMC. UGMC, we all know, was done by Professor Mills. And even with that one, the first phase was what they did without finishing UGMC. It took this government to come and finish it with all medical equipment. This is true. And afterwards, they went ahead to add the phase 2 and to finish it with medical equipment. So what are you talking about? If we are talking about a government that thinks about the welfare of Ghanaians, it is the NPP. And nobody can take that away from us. We are still paying allowances from this money you claim we have borrowed. We are still paying for excess power because you went into a bad contract. We are still paying those things. A government that supervised over 4 years of doomsday in Ghana is today talking as though they have done something for Ghanaians. And when we are talking about the GDP, they go back and say MPP has done worse, forgetting that that growth was recorded in COVID time. Meanwhile, your own was recorded because you could not provide Ghanaians with electricity to go about their daily work. Are you comparing this to what we have done? Ghanaians know better, and I know they will choose my candidate. My candidate has been so resourceful, and nobody can take that away from him. My government, my candidate has never mounted any podium telling them that, Ghanaians, I know you are suffering, go back and suffer more. I'm not a magician. My candidate has always been very sober. Who said that? Oh, no. He said it. JDM said it to Ghanaians.
Tabitha.
Yes, he said it.
This is what you do.
What do I do?
This is what you do. I cannot sit here knowing as a journalist that Mahama never said a thing like that.
Oh, okay.
And then what you say?
Okay, so if he never said
you say
a thing like that, I'm coming.
How do you
if
say
Mahama never said that,
hold on.
Did he talk about the dead goat
You see,
syndrome?
when you do this, you don't allow the viewers.
No, you said Mahama never said that, and I said okay, granted.
I'm saying that.
But did he say the dead goat
go
syndrome?
back and suffer?
No, I'm only paraphrasing. Because if you tell somebody that I have a dead goat syndrome and that there is nothing you can actually do to me, what are you telling them? You are telling them that go back and suffer.
By you people.
That is what you are telling
By
them.
your excessive contrived
as a
narratives.
president, I come to you and table before you my problems, and you tell me that you cannot do anything about it. What are you telling me? You are telling me that go back and suffer. Go back and deal with your own challenges.
Okay.
And this is a candidate who is preparing to come and has already told Ghanaians in advance that give me a honeymoon period. Who is this candidate we are talking about?
Annie, let me just quickly
let me go back to
I will give you.
Indeed, Ghanaians know better.
Hold on. I will do that. But I'm having so many messages. I don't want to. I want to give some time to allocate some time to my programs manager has given me some few minutes more. So let me do this. Good morning, Annie. The Constitution of Ghana sees the light of the days only when the NDC are in government. The NPP always use a different constitution to rule us when we're in government. You didn't add your name, but this says Prince Henry from Koforidua. It's very cumbersome to explain the John Mahama 24-hour economy to Dr. Baumi Anapo and the NPP. Still believe that the current dollar to the cedi is better than what we experienced under the NDC-led John Mahama. NPP, here, Cobra, you say. Okay. Fred Avanyo says that, good morning, Annie. The ever-intelligent Shamima is back. The summary of the whole discussion is that JDM is the president of Ghana from the 7th of December 2025. Nothing under the sun can stop it. Fred Avanyo sent that in. Annie, good morning. I'm impressed with the Shamima Muslim on your show. In fact, The people of Ghana will bat out the MPP on December 7, 2024. Inshallah, Haba. The hardship is unbearable. Annie from Alhaji Ashaiman. Alhaji Haruna from Ashaiman sent that in. Chumbafo came back, said, Tabitha, you are learning, see the eloquence, don't worry. When President Mahama comes to power, the MPP boys won't beat you again. We will enact the affirmative action. I think somebody asked that question yesterday on the affirmative action. That was
long for long.
Okay. So what is the name of the... Oh, okay. This one is not for airtime. Ambassador Sampiale says that Nana... Okay. This story about the chalk is a classical myth, especially when the Mrs. Emisa Afa had gone to the school to donate computers and other serious equipment to the school. In any case, what is the value of chalk compared to lack of textbooks?
Yes.
So when I checked the author of the story, she said she is an NPP communicator from Germany. This NPP lady, do you think that Ghanaians are going to vote because of chalk? Or who introduces the ill-managed FSHS? Lady Shamima, it's so refreshing to see you on screen this morning. And Nana Kunedu was allowed to contest.
Yep.
And we, but did not vote for her. Okay, contesting, but we did not vote for her.
And you know
Moses Kandiru says that, Shamima, welcome to Politics on TV.
Thank
you. You remind me of the National Youth Platform days.
Thank you.
Tabitha is incredible.
People don't know where we came from.
Moses,
they don't know that we've been doing this activism forever. They think that we just got out of the woodworks. My sister is saying that Paul Lambert.
Well, at that time it was
maybe but you should also be willing to know some things before you make some
judge
statements.
people.
Yes.
So first, she does not know Labadi Hotel. Now she slept early. Okay, I remember that, Tabitha, when she said she didn't know where Labadi Beach Hotel is. Okay. Jifa Gunu, it says that the free maternal health care no longer works. Okay, that's what I was seeking to find out. Wow, Annie, while Shamima was lecturing Tabitha, she was writing lecture versus students. NDC has the men and women. These days, it's not easy to defend MPP at all, you say. Shamima, so guess who sent a message? I see the MPP lady gasping for air. She is completely dazed and bereft of ideas. Kudos to Shamima for the wonderful knockout with a clear intellect and demonstration of superior knowledge. Ask her about the debt. NDC left a debt at 120 billion Ghana cedis. JM borrowed only 44 billion cedis. Now the debt is 680 billion cedis. The difference is 560 billion cedis. New debt added. How can the MPP lady Tabitha say that they have done better? I mean, how? This is for Malik Basentale. Okay, this one says that the increases in numbers that were registered by SNIT was not as a result of increased employment. It was due to a deliberate policy to bring informal sector workers into the pension scheme. The MPP should stop twisting statistics. This is from MG Bawe. Honorable Tiboti Atabwade says that, Annie, no comment or not to comment by two beautiful sisters, Shamima and Tabitha. Good morning and have a lovely day. But on the free SHS, Honorable Didiong from the Deputy Attorney General, Deputy Attorney had to spend nearly 1,000 Ghana cedis to enable students get into school in his constituency 2 years ago. Annie, thanks to the grateful to JDM, never said he is not a magician, period. Okay. Okay, Asha has sent me a link on the chalk issues. Kobna Adikoka says, Annie, good morning. Shamima, good morning. Refreshing seeing you. What's going on in your studio? Annie, tell the lady not to tread into areas she doesn't know much about. Did she think that it was wise for Kunedu to contest a sitting president? Yes, she is a veteran. So tell Tabitha that Tabitha not to banter with Shamima. Okay. I guess it's just the whole thing about. Good morning, Anita Bita has spewed so much lies and it has to be corrected. The above is the response the GES gave when the issue of chalk came up. The headmistress didn't use the right channel to make her request. The regional and district offices had enough chalk for the region at the time. I was thinking if a second lady had come to visit you bringing computers, what's your business asking for chalk? From a second, like ask for bigger things, you know, take advantage and, you know, ask for bigger things, maybe. But, well, let me give you some two extra minutes. Two minutes.
Let me just say that as a matter of principle,
2 minutes.
My discourse, as I have willed myself to try to engage, is to be civil at all times. It is obvious that my sister, from the other side, has been very selective in her appreciation of the premise I set regarding the advocacies around women and women's participation. Unfortunately, it won't be Tabitha who would tell me about the state of women underrepresentation. This is work I've done for the past 25 years. And it's political party representation we are talking about. So it is representation within each political party. As I said, we made statements and demands specifically that NDC, we expect this from you. MPP, we expect this from you. NDC heeded our call, heeded the call of the good women of Ghana, the majority of the women of Ghana. MPP declined the call. And I have every right to make commentary on that declination. I would like my sister to just tell us 4 hospitals that they started and completed. You see, when you are gasping, what do you call it? They said, don't clutch at straws. A drowning man ought not to be clutching at straws. But this is really where the NPP finds themselves in. They are between a rock and a hard space. They are almost facing retribution for their misgovernance and mismanagement, and they are going on a ranting spree, throwing invectives and name-calling into the system to distract Ghanaians from the real cause. Please, don't let the MPP gaslight you. You know what it feels like when you go to the market. You know what your incomes are today. And throwing phantom figures will not wash. Those figures, you told us in an election prior that we are asking the same of Ghanaians today. Abapa ni say obeto MPP out of government. They have misgoverned this country. Look, sorry, let me just mention briefly some of the free senior high school that is their clarion call, that they are saying that people are not paying anything. Bridget told you that she's had to pay 3,200 Ghana cedis. If St. Peter's, I just got this from somebody who says this is something from St. Peter's. Beddings alone, beddings that parents had to buy, personal effects, bath and laundry effects, cleaning materials, and then general arts, what they are supposed to bring. We have seen and heard these lists. So when you sit on air and try to tell parents who are suffering to get their children into high school, free senior high school, with these burdens, you insult their intelligence. Right. Because their experience of you, their experience of your governance, their experience of your conduct is worlds apart from what you tell them. And let me conclude by saying that, because there's no time to really address all these things, there are 3 things we need to ask ourselves as people go into an election, especially now speaking to young people. Do a comparative analysis. We are not running away, just as JM has not run away from the media, something that President Akufo-Addo hasn't done in the longest time, something that the Vice President has not done. Also, give yourself the opportunity for the media to question you. All right. You say you have a great story, but in the questioning, let's do a comparative analysis on 3 things. The character of the people seeking our office, the conduct of the people, the leaders and the people around the leaders who are managing affairs and those seeking affairs, and the so-called competence. They brought this contrived term towards the previous election. That same competence, my sister cannot by any stretch of illogicality say that any government is against borrowing.
Okay.
No government can be against borrowing, just as they have overborrowed 600 billion Ghana cedis with no tangibles. And it is every day somebody else responsible. Let the MPP learn to take responsibility for their actions, especially their inactions.
Right.
Let them show integrity, even as they seek the mandate, which the Ghanaian people I know will reject,
right.
as they should.
Tabitha.
This morning, I want to tell Ghanaians the good news. The good news is that you have two political parties to choose from. One that has shown that they have a dead goat syndrome, and one that has shown boldness. One that has proven that even in the face of challenges, I am there with you. Be it a global challenge or a locally motivated challenge, I am here with you. This is a government that ensured that Ghanaians didn't go hungry. Ghanaians didn't sleep in lights out for years. This is a government that ensured that even in the face of difficulties, when petroleum prices quadrupled at the world market, they did not increase electricity bills, but rather even gave what they call the lifeline, this thing to consumers. This is a government that has ensured that whether you are a poor person or rich person, a girl or a boy, you get access to free senior high school. This is a government that has ensured that there is gender parity throughout our nursery schools through to SHS level. So now we have more girls in school than we have ever had in the history of Ghana. This is a government that so far in the history of Ghana has committed itself into transformative ideas. You talk about the drone delivery service. You talk about the digital platforms that a lot of people get an opportunity to do services 24 hours non-stop. This is a government that has committed itself to ensuring that all constituencies in the country has at least one ambulance. This is a party so far in the history of Ghana that has taken a bold decision of ensuring that at least every region gets a fair share of hospitals. I can talk for my own constituents, in my own Upper East region, where they have given us 6 Agenda 111 projects.
Okay.
Now, we are looking at this and the other one. And anybody who has been following, and you see, one thing the NDC refused to understand is that so far, when you look at the history of the 4th Republic, you realize that even when the MPP is losing, it is marginal.
Okay.
And so Ghanaians are watching. Ghanaians are the best judge. They know who is committed and who is not committed.
Okay.
They know how we behave when we are in pressure. They know how we posture ourselves and respond to Ghanaians.
Okay.
In the face of difficulties, we admit it.
Okay.
And we told Ghanaians that have faith in us, they had faith in us, and we delivered. Ghanaians are the best judge.
Thank you.
And I'm talking to Ghanaians this morning.
Right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching. We're back tomorrow with Good Morning Ghana.
Again.
Hello, thank you for calling MTN.
This is Jerry, Jolly J for short.
How may I help?
I'm not happy with you guys at all. You've been giving Bongo gifts all the time.
Who is Bongo?
Oh, Bongo, my friend. He purchased in my room.
Oh.
You've been giving free gifts, but I don't.
That's